Today, we're talking about the impact of personal style on our well-being. And I'm loving this episode already before we've even began, because just before we went on air, we were having a bit of a conversation around the power of this work. And of course, I've worked personally with today's special guest, and I know how amazing her work is. Today's guest is Stephanie Vaughan. She's the founder of Infinite Styling, a boutique personal styling business established in 2013 to help women step into their personal power through authentic style. A mum of three and proud South Australian entrepreneur, Stephanie combines her fashion expertise with emotional intelligence. I really love this to support women navigating change, visibility, and self-worth. Oh, I can't wait for this. Welcome to the Coaching Circle, Stephanie Vaughan.
Thank you so much, Tony. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm really
yeah, well,
pleased
it's
to be
it's
here.
very valid and well deserved, because you do amazing work, and I can't wait to get in and really start talking in depth about what you actually do, because I think I for a long time I had on my bucket list that I wanted to have a personal stylist, but it always seemed like it was a bit like bougie and a bit something, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I'd see people and I'd be like, oh wow, they look amazing. They're like, oh yeah, I've got a stylist, and it was always in my bucket list. And then anyway, long story short, I ended up working with you recently, and I feel like a whole new person. So let's get into just if you could share with us, Stephanie, a little bit about what led you to start your business and why what you do is important to you.
Beautiful. Thank you. So my journey's been quite a long one. I founded my business 12 years ago, but prior to that, I was working in fashion retail. That was just my mum job while the kids were at school. I found the sales side of it was never me, but had me down to the change rooms and I was totally in my element. Just working with women to help them see their inner beauty when they put something on and just see them actually start to glow and see that they are really worthy of beautiful pieces. That was what sort of, I think that was sort of the catalyst for what I do. Just basically leading them down a path of, I guess, well-being and knowing that they can actually look good and feel good.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So you were working in helping people in the change rooms, but there's a big jump from that to running your own business, because this is one of the things that I often have to work with people around, because it's one thing being good at that part of it, but like you said, there's the sales and there's everything else that goes in business. So what is the part where you actually went, you know what, I'm going to do this for myself in my own business?
Mm. It was actually a very personal, I guess it was a moment of truth. I received a health diagnosis when I turned 41.
Mm,
So I was diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's disease, which completely blindsided me, I've got to say.
mm,
Um, I think working my way through the acceptance of that and knowing how I felt at the time and how simply by wearing clothes that made me feel good really opened doors and opened my mind um, with how I was wanting to sort of, I guess, work with women and style at the same time. So I took the leap of faith and started my own business, not knowing anything about business, of course.
yeah.
Um, Starting out small, just taking some of my some of my regular customers out shopping just to sort of add on to what they'd already purchased in store, and then slowly going to people's places to, I guess, do mini wardrobe edits along the way while I was just sort of feeling my way through. Then I actually went and did some formal training in Melbourne, which made me feel as though I was actually more qualified and felt a lot stronger with the business backing.
Yeah, that is brilliant. And I think like that's a true entrepreneur. It's just like, yeah, I think I'll have a crack at this. And just
Yeah.
start going and learn along the way. And it's a very steep learning curve, isn't it, when you jump into business like that?
It was huge, definitely huge.
Yes.
Um, I think um, the value of joining women's networking groups and finding a business coach. Um, yeah, it's been a very long journey, but just by getting out there and I guess mixing with so many other women, especially in business, gave me a stronger understanding of sort of where I was heading.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is a key thing for anyone in business because it is environmentally, like how quickly you adapt to that type of change is how much you immerse yourself in that environment. So being with other people in business, like I said, having a business coach, doing those networking, those kinds of things, it just becomes the normal that, okay, this is literally how people are living their lives and running businesses and doing things. I think you integrate that much faster. So that's really great. And I'd love to know, I want to go a bit deeper into this around, the well-being side of
Mm.
personal style, because I know like with my clients, I work with a lot of women that are 50 plus who are coaches and well-being practitioners, naturopaths, massage therapists, all those kinds of people. And I talk to them a lot about masculine and feminine energy because it's a really important thing to have this sorted when you're in business so that you can have the structure and you can receive and all those kinds of things. And, I think a really big part of the feminine is really understanding is having that connection to body and feeling good about your body as well. But the more that for females and for that feminine energy, the more that you value yourself and feel good in yourself, the easier it is to value yourself in business, right? And
Absolutely.
and put yourself forward in business. And I know definitely for me, like I said, it was something that was on my mind for a while that I was like, okay, um, you know, over like from when I'd left my career, my job back in 2016 when I first started business, and I'd kind of moved from like corporate wear to like, okay, now I don't want to be wearing the same kind of corporate wear because I'm in my business, but then I don't know. And I think when I saw you, I said, I feel like I'm still stuck in the same clothes I've been wearing for like the last 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm really wanting to change it. And it was something that I really knew that I had to do for myself to really get, for that next kind of level.
Yeah.
Um, so I would love to just, touch on this a bit, or we can go really deep on this because I think this is
Yeah.
something that you do really well. Because it's not just women in business that you work with, is it? When it comes to style, there's a whole range of women. So you want to share a little bit about, what you've experienced and come to know about the importance of style for women?
Yeah. Um, I think exactly what you said about that that transformation of going from the corporate to where you are now. Um, our style evolves, whether we're yeah, it's so many reasons, change of lifestyle, change of jobs, even menopause can come into it. Our
Mm,
bodies change, our mindset changes. It's just natural. And I'm
mm,
finding so many women, I guess pretty much between the ages of 40 and 60, I guess that 50s era, which
yeah.
I'm also in myself, there's a lot of change. And I think we're all searching for our authentic style and wanting to really project who we are to the world. We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be valued. So
Mm.
it's really, yeah, style is a really, really big part of that.
Yes. And I think that, that is such a key thing that you said then around we want to be seen and we want to be heard and we want to be valued.
Mm,
And that really starts with feeling like we're happy to be seen
that's right.
and heard and that we're valuing ourselves. Like we can literally go, yes, I do feel valuable, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the women I work with, they do range from women in corporate to other professions. I've worked with, I've done group workshops with women with DV backgrounds,
Mm.
even prison backgrounds. They're just women who just need that fresh start and they've forgotten who they are
Mm.
because of their journeys. They've pretty much got lost along the way. So it's really vital to have somebody there just to support you and show you, I guess, that you can come back to yourself through style and what you wear, and you don't have to go shopping for expensive clothes. It's not about that. It's about finding pieces that really reflect who you are. You can go op shopping. It really doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
I've actually done that. Yeah, so it's not really about money. It's more about finding clothes that really speak to you.
Yes, and I think that is so true because I know like one of the biggest things when I come to, well, you came to see me,
Yeah.
which was amazing. I was just like, oh my God, I'm inviting someone into my bedroom to go through all my stuff. It's like it's a little bit vulnerable, but like you made it so comfortable, Steph. It was a really good experience. But I think, for me, what I got out of that was like number one, black is not my best color. As much as I've loved black all my life, I can't look at black the same anymore.
No.
Mind you, I have given myself permission. I think tomorrow night I'm going to something and I'm going to be wearing some black, but I'm going to have on light colored pants.
Beautiful.
So I've got the whole balancing out with my hair thing sorted. So that's
Yep.
good. So I've worked out I need to have this balance with because I've got blonde hair, a lighter color hair, to balance
Yep.
that out with my shoes. And so
I love
instead
this.
of having like light pants and black boots to match my black top, I'm going to have light color boots.
I love this.
Yes. Um, but also knowing that, like, and also I got to know what my season was, which is summer, which I love that because I am a summer person anyway, which it makes it easier for me to know what colors to pick because I'm like, okay, yes, these are definitely are my colors.
Yes.
But even just, I think I said to you, one of my problems was working out what type of bottoms to get and
Hmm.
pants because I'm 5'9", so I'm quite tall, but like trying to get the whole leg and waist thing sorted out. And I
Yeah.
was a bit stuck in skinny jeans.
A lot
Um,
of people are.
yeah, and
Yeah.
not there's anything wrong with that. I think they're always kind of on the cusp, but like even just going, you need a high waist and a wide leg.
Yeah.
And like now I've got about three pairs, no, four pairs that are like high waisted, wide leg, and I'm like, my whole wardrobe's transformed.
That's beautiful.
And
It's
it's
all
making such
about
a
color.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but like I think that in itself, like it's not just I'm getting a stylist and it's all bougie. It's like literally the amount of like mental and emotional load that that's taken off of me is just incredible. So can you talk like, and I think this is an identity thing, right? And this is what I thought when you were telling me about, um, you know, maybe women who've had DV or like come out of prisons or whatever else. Like, can you talk a bit to that, Steph, around that whole identity piece and what
Yeah.
a difference it actually makes when you know that you've got this personal style that matches who you want to be?
Absolutely. What you've just said is it's all about empowerment. So I guess all the things that we've talked through, like balance, shape, colors, all of that, it's really empowering to actually know that that works for you. It's absolutely huge. I
Mm,
guess women who have experienced hardship and I guess I know some of the women who had recently been released from prison, they were wearing ankle bracelets. So
mm,
they were so self-conscious about being seen. They didn't want to wear a skirt. They didn't want to wear pants that would show their ankle. So it's, I guess, working with what you actually need to do sort of to make you feel good and to be able to be the person you want to be.
mm.
That's what, that's basically what I work with. Um, Giving these women the opportunity to sort of be able to walk around and not exposing their ankles. That
Yeah,
was a really big thing.
yeah.
I, yeah, it was something that opened my eyes, I've got to say.
Right.
Um, Women with DV backgrounds, a lot of them felt as though they didn't deserve to be wearing something that made them feel good. I think
Mm,
being in that space of lack and not being worthy has it does a lot of damage, and it really does show from the inside out
mm.
with how you present yourself quite often. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. And I think, in that sort of DV space, or even where there's been sort of coercive control or, narcissistic relationships or whatever, like the key thing there is always having your emotional state controlled,
yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
And it's keeping, people experience that being kept at this kind of low emotional place, right? And that's not a match for feeling good about yourself, because when you feel good about yourself, you feel empowered, right? Like you were saying before, you feel empowered. And so if people don't feel like it's safe to feel empowered or haven't in the past,
mm,
it's like they've got to build these new neurological pathways about it's actually safe for me to feel good and do things for myself that feel good, right?
absolutely. And just knowing that they're allowed to do
Yeah.
that, it's
Yeah.
it's a really big step, and there's a lot to go through. So I guess in some ways I do a lot of counseling work as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Because I noticed that was one of the things that stood out to me in your bio about, with the emotional intelligence as well. And I think it's such a key thing, and why this is so relevant to well-being.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even women who quite often have a wardrobe full of clothes, and they just can't get past parting with pieces. There's usually a lot of attachment with that as well.
Mm,
Not just because they want to keep something, but there's usually a lot of deeper rooted attachments. So
mm.
it's
Okay. Like as in, I like the classic kind of I'm keeping this because one day I want to fit back into it.
yes, that's a biggie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
can be some things. I know I've done that before. Um, but do you think even like clothes that are maybe like connected to a time in someone's life and things like that?
absolutely. I fully understand sentimental. I
Mm,
even have a few pieces myself that I'll never wear, but I know that their sentimental value is there, and I just like to have them there. Um, I guess I'm just thinking back through, I've had several ladies who have dresses still hanging in their wardrobes from their husband's funerals.
mm,
And I guess just moments in life that they just still feel quite strongly about, and they're not ready to let go.
yeah, yeah,
Many reasons.
absolutely. I could imagine that as
Mm,
well. And so I guess that part of that, isn't there? There's no kind of right or wrong. It's just finding what is going to be right for you. It's just like, yes, if there's some things you want to keep in your wardrobe and have hanging there for the next 20 years, that's
that's right.
fine. I mean, I'm always on the space of nothing's a problem unless it's a problem, right?
True. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, I guess, and there would be all different kinds of cultural impacts and things like that on how, people dress and what they feel comfortable in and all those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So, Steph, I would love to know, like, I want to go a little bit deeper into this kind of space of, like I said, for me, for a long time, I was like, oh, having a stylist is a bit bougie or it's a bit extravagant and stuff. And I know that was just some old conditioning from my past because um, what like I think now is working with you, and you've got a bit of a special offer that we'll talk about after as well,
Yeah,
but working with you, I think probably saved me money because I've actually bought pieces that I'm getting loads of wear out of, and
perfect.
left to my own devices, I would buy heaps of stuff that probably um like I wouldn't wear as much or
Yep.
feel as good in. But can we like look at it in even some of like, yeah, this more logical kind of way? Do you know some, like, is this a common thing where people actually can buy less pieces that they get more wear out of and just generally feel like they've got better value through having worked with you?
Absolutely. So yes, saving time, saving money, saving energy is a big part of what I do. Um, as you were talking about before, some of those the pants, the style of pants that you wear, because they work so well for you, you aren't going to be needing to keep on buying and trying and buying and trying.
Mm,
A lot of work, sorry, tongue-tied.
yeah.
A lot of wardrobes that I visit, you will find clothes with tags still hanging on them. They've never been worn. And usually when I sort of pull these pieces out and I just go, what's happening here? It's either the case of they're the wrong style, they're the wrong fit, they don't go back with anything else in your wardrobe. That's another big thing that I always look for.
Mm,
So having key pieces, all your basics in neutral colors is a big, big thing. So as we worked out, having the lighter color pants and some darker color pants, you'll never go wrong because you'll be able to mix and match so easily.
mm,
Yeah. So I guess working with a capsule sort of style based wardrobe, having all of your really key basics is going to set you on the right path. And then you can bring in all of the accent pieces, some of the fun pieces in different colors and styles and sequins and feathers and whatever you want, just to show your personality. But
yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the key things is like, I said I was really good at being like super casual or super dressed up. In between, there was a big gap.
yeah,
But what I've found since working with you and getting these key pieces, like especially with the pants that I've bought, I'm like the pants that I've got, and especially going with like the darker wash wide leg jeans and things like that. They're great for work. They're great for networking. I've put it like a sequin top on, and then they're great for a 50th. I've got on like some, street shoes, and then it's great for just like the weekend. And it's just, yeah, they've just got so much capacity, I guess,
yeah.
to just be able to wear those core pieces. And that's what I think I meant about like, getting so much wear out of them
Mm.
is that I don't have to have 50 million different things. I'm like these few core things, and with the right kind of understanding of what goes together well for me, it's like suddenly, yeah, it's across the board.
Sorry about my dog.
Oh,
Um,
notice.
Absolutely. It's all about versatility.
Yes,
That is the key. As soon as you've got pieces that are totally versatile, such as a dark denim,
yes,
light denim is usually sort of a little bit too cash, but dark denim will take you from night to day so, so easily. Definitely.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just the difference between having a pair of sneakers or having a heel or a heeled boot or a loafer or whatever. And it's just,
I love that you've taken all of this on board.
yeah. I got immense value out of it, Seth. Like
Brilliant.
I'm for me, I love to understand how things work. Like it's just what I'm good at anyway, is understanding structure and patterns. And as soon as you showed me the structure and pattern of wardrobe, like, oh yes, I can do this now. It's great. Which was brilliant. So what do you think, Steph? With people, so if someone's listening to this and they're thinking, oh my God, that would be really amazing. What are some of the things that you feel like are common in what holds people back from going and doing this? And perhaps we can talk to that in a way that might help someone make that decision that this will actually make a big impact on them.
Um, I feel that many people have the same mindset that you had before around it, thinking it was, having a stylist is a little bit bougie. It's a bit self-indulgent or a luxury that, celebrities or A-listers quite often can fall back on. But in all honesty, I guess it's more of an educational service
Mm,
around both well-being, saving money, saving time, and just understanding your body shape and the colors and where to shop as well, because quite often the brands that will have the pieces that align with you, it's really very handy to know which brands and which stores to visit, because when you're online, it's this whole big world and it's really overwhelming, which I totally get. So
Mm.
my styling service definitely um, hones in on what's going to be best for you. So in the long run, it's going to save you a lot of money.
Yes, yeah, and I think that was key thing as well because um two stores that you did recommend to me. One, not that I'm giving necessarily a plug for these stores, but just for the purpose of it. One was Seed, and I used to always be like, "Oh, I think Seed's just a bit overpriced and whatever." But turns out that Seed have the right style pants for me that are long enough. So
Yeah,
now, like, I've got um a couple of pairs of pants from Seed, and I managed to get them on sale and all kinds of things. But like, I'll get that much wear out of them that I've got a completely different perspective on that. And the other one was Forever New as well, because I was always a bit like, oh, I think some of Forever New sometimes a bit overpriced and whatever. But when I got the right type of pants and a couple of right, like, good tops from there, and I can see how much I'm wearing them, I'm like, it is, yeah, it's way more valuable than buying something a bit cheaper that, like, after a couple of wears, I start going, oh, it's a bit stretched and it's a bit not quite long enough and it's a bit, all those things. Yeah.
the cost per wear and value for money are definitely key.
Yes. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Oh, that's great. So, Steph, do you have like, I would love, because like I said, there's a lot more to styling than, just people that are got a personal brand and those kinds of things. Because like you
Mm.
said, you've worked with some people that have had some, more challenging backgrounds where style has been a really important part of their, I guess, recovery even. Um, is there any particular, stories that you can think of that like has really stood out to you, has made what you do so worthwhile?
Oh, I've got, there's a couple that come straight to mind. One in particular, actually, no, two. Um, the first one, a beautiful friend of mine, sadly, she passed away in a car accident several
Oh,
years ago, and I had previously met her family. I think it was just through a business networking thing. Um, Her mum actually gave me a call before the funeral and reached out and said to me, I really need something to wear to my daughter's funeral, but I just cannot go to the shops. I can't think. I just need some help. So
mm,
I went and visited her, had a little look through her wardrobe, just got some ideas, went shopping for her and selected a whole range of outfits, brought them back to her, and she got to select sort of what she felt would be appropriate. But that was just a really special thing to be able to do for somebody.
mm,
So that's, yeah, that's probably one of my standout. And even today, we're still in touch, and
yeah.
she's become a really good friend. But
Yeah, that's something that you wouldn't necessarily think about. But as you're saying that, I'm like, oh, I could just imagine being in that space, like trying to work out what you're going to wear because
yeah,
it would be a big deal about what you want to wear
it
for
was.
like your daughter's funeral like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a massive funeral, and she knew that there were going to be a lot of people there. And they'd specifically said that they wanted it to be colourful. And she just could not get her head around going shopping for something colourful at that time, because obviously
Mm,
grief is just, yeah, just
mm,
overwhelming. So
yeah.
that was a really special thing. I also had a man reach out
Mm,
from from down south, actually, down at Victor Harbour. He got in touch with me asking me if I would be happy to do a makeover for his new partner. And to be honest, I thought, well, she might not take this very well. It may not be a compliment. But she actually embraced it and came down, and we did a full day together. So we went and had her hair cut, which had not been cut for 11 years.
Oh, wow.
It was, yeah, she had actually done nothing for herself for a very, very long time. By the end of the day, she looked like a completely new person. She bought a whole new wardrobe that
Mm,
actually fitted her, and she looked amazing. Um, this was probably 2 years ago that we did this, and
mm.
the transformation was huge. And only a few days ago, she sent me a message to say that they have just announced their engagement. So
Oh, how beautiful.
I thought that was just gorgeous. Yeah.
That
So
is so lovely. And what an amazing man. I'm like, geez. I mean, I say it'd be great some man want to pay for I'm like my partner's pretty much supports me in whatever I want to do, which is nice. But I think
yeah.
what a great thing for a man to do and just be like, yeah, I want to give that. I think that is like because like you said, you're like, oh, I don't know how that might be received, but I think from a healthy masculine way, and which sounds like this man was, in that healthy masculine, he wants his, he's that I want my partner to feel safe and valued and wonderful and feel good in themselves because the healthy masculine thrives on their feminine
Mm.
feeling good and feeling valued. And in fact, like it's interesting, I've got at the moment coming up on my TikTok these and it's like some Chinese kind of prophecy that says um a man will always benefit from investing in his woman.
Yeah. Well, it's true. He's definitely benefited. He could see her inner beauty, and he kept on saying that. He said, "She is such a beautiful person. I would love for the world to be able to see that on the outside and for
Yeah.
her to fully embrace her beauty."
Yes.
And yeah, it was really watching her step into it through the day. It was beautiful.
Yes, it is, and that is so good. It's definitely that is the whole masculine and feminine energy just like demonstrated right there.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Now, Steph, um, I could talk to you about this all day because I love this so much. And like I said, I'm completely converted about the value in having a stylist. It's not like I want to say it's not all that bougie, but it is and it isn't. It is in that everyone deserves to feel a bit bougie and feel good about themselves and do all those things, but it's not so extravagant that it's out of reach for people. And this is the thing that I think I want it like a really key message is that it just does make sense to get a stylist from a practical sense as well, as far as getting the right clothes that fit you, that you'll get, like you said, the cost per wear. And, it will just have such a big impact on the rest of your life, just how you show up every day in what you're wearing. Um, but it is actually, you've got some really affordable packages. And this is the thing. And can you tell me about share the package that you have at the moment that's available?
Absolutely. So, to me, it's all about being accessible because I really want to be able to help as many people as possible. So I've recently launched my brand new aligned style session, which is a 2 hour wardrobe session where we basically do similar to what I did in your session was we went through the wardrobe, edited, brought out all the pieces that no longer work, and we
And just to add to
created
that, when I did this with Steph, there was a lot of pieces that no longer worked, right? So, yeah,
uh, and you're not alone there either.
yeah,
But we did also rework some of the pieces that you already owned,
yeah,
and we styled them back to create some different looks.
yeah,
So we can do that within your wardrobe, and then also with this session, we create a little bit of a shopping list, just as I did with you, Tony.
yeah.
So it's about working out which pieces would be ideal to bring into your wardrobe, more so than just randomly shopping and guessing.
Mm,
So I leave you with a targeted shopping list so you can either shop on your own or otherwise I can help you there. Um, what else do we do? We look at color, shape, styles, and I now include a worksheet and create and also take photos throughout the session of some of our options with outfits that we've put together from the wardrobe. So there's
Yes.
actually quite a lot in this package, and I offer it for 333 because it's a magic number.
Yes, it is a magic number. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got that is my probably my main package at the moment for stepping into
Yeah, absolutely. So for
styling.
$333, you get Steph, you come to the person's house.
Yes.
Yep.
Or if you live remotely or anywhere where else in Australia, virtual. I
Can do
often
it online as well. Yeah.
do
So
virtual.
it's 2 hours. You get your colors done. You look at what shape it is. You see what's in your wardrobe. See if there's some pieces that you can rejig in your
Rework.
wardrobe, and then get a bit of a shopping list. And I found as well, you getting me to look on Pinterest was really helpful
Yes.
to get some
Agree.
real ideas of, okay, what are the types of styles that I actually like?
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, you did send me a shopping list, and that shopping list was really good, Steph, because I actually did something with that I never normally do. And that was I just went and bought a whole bunch of stuff online. And because usually I'm like, oh, I can't buy stuff online because nothing ever fits me correctly and da 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 da. But
Mm.
I went, do you know what? I'm going to trust this is going to be okay. And I think out of that, there was only like one or two things that I sent back. And I
Hmm.
think one was because like the material was just a bit too crinkly.
Yeah.
And but I checked when I was buying it online, I just checked what their returns um
Yes.
things were, and it was all you could just take it back and get a refund anyway.
Yeah.
And there were stores near me. So one was just like it was just yeah, it was a bit too high maintenance fabric for me.
Yep. No,
Um,
that's totally fair.
yeah, and I think one was like a minor thing, like the belt was just a bit of a funny size or something. But other than that, like I was just trying these clothes on, going, oh my God, this is amazing, this is amazing. Like the boots, everything was just great. And then yeah, I went on from getting some more stuff from there. So yeah, oh, of course you can get Steph, and then you've got more extensive packages
I
that go on
do.
from there, right? To
I
suit
do.
wherever
Yes.
people are at. But definitely, I think if that's something you're like, oh, okay, I want to, tip my toe in the waters here to really see what this is about. I think that's an incredible offer.
Okay.
And I'll put all the details about that in the show notes for people. And is it a limited offer, Steph, just so that people know that they got to?
No, no, this is
It's
actually a new standalone service. So
okay, so it's
any
ongoing at the moment.
it is now.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. I would still get in because you will never wish you'd done this later.
True, true.
I
The
always
sooner
say
the
that with
better.
people. Like, I've never ever worked with someone that says, geez, I wish I did this later. They always say, I wish I did this sooner. So, yeah, definitely. Great.
Excellent.
Excellent. So I'll put, like I said, all those details in the show notes. But I'd love, Steph, just for you, because I know there'll be some people listening to this that are, interested in the style, but there's also people that listen to this who are interested in business stories like I am. And I really love sharing, the realness about business for people as well, because, often when we're in social media, everyone's like, oh, everyone seems to be succeeding in business and whatever else. But I would love to know if you don't mind sharing, Steph, what do you
Absolutely.
think has been one of the most challenging things, but also one of the most rewarding things about, or one of each of about being in business?
Okay, I think probably the most challenging thing has been me getting out of my own way.
Yeah.
For a very long time, I didn't want to share my story of Parkinson's. So
Mm,
for 9 years, I hid and
mm,
I didn't share. I could work with women and understand where they were coming from, but I never shared from myself my true, I guess, what was going on in my world. So
mm,
yeah, for me that was a really big challenge to actually be able to share and be authentic,
mm,
which is now obviously something from the past. But Yeah, so moving out of my own way was definitely my biggest challenge.
Yeah, and Steph, do you know, on that, I think that is such a relevant thing. I'm so glad that you shared that because I know definitely for me, when you shared that, it was like I felt more connected to you. And I don't, it's not necessarily that I have that condition or I even know anyone with that condition, but I was just like, I feel like you're more of a real person. Like I felt like I knew more like who you were, and
Yeah.
that's that power of authenticity.
Yes, and that is what shone through. It was like a big beacon.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so many people before I actually spoke out, they would quite often look at me in a way of, she thinks she's a bit good, or, look at her. But once I shared sort of and became more vulnerable,
Mm,
um, as you just said, you felt more comfortable and you felt as though you were more connected and you knew
yeah.
me as a person. So that has been an absolute game changer.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, because the truth is, everybody has got something going on
You
in their life,
do.
right? Nobody is perfect. And this is what I say to a lot of my clients, who, are coaches and all those kinds of things, is that your ideal client's not looking for perfect.
No,
They're looking for someone that has had some real challenges and has overcome those challenges, and that you will accept them and whatever they've got going on, and believe that they can overcome that as well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Understanding and acceptance is huge.
Yeah, 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 good. And the most rewarding?
Most rewarding. Um, I think just seeing the changes that I can make in other people's lives.
Mm,
Um, oh, a few years back, I worked with some teenage girls from Roxby Downs, and one of them had anorexia, and the other
mm,
one was being bullied. And it was actually their dad who came to me and asked me to help me find their formal outfits. And
mm,
it was like a coming out for them. They looked absolutely stunning, and it was life transforming for both of them.
mm.
The the one of the twins with anorexia, she actually moved on and she has recovered.
Oh, great.
And the other girl, her bullying issues pretty quickly disappeared once she sort of had that confidence behind her. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That is amazing. And I think, you know what? That's also another good news story is about men supporting women.
yeah,
I'm really loving this. So any men, I know there are some men that listen to this. So any men, support the women in your life, daughters, partners,
mhm,
whoever, in feeling good about themselves, and how they present themselves and all those kinds of things, because you'll be doing more for them than what you may know.
absolutely.
Oh, that is brilliant, Steph. And I've just loved this. This episode. I'm so really pleased that you come on. And like I said, we could talk about this for a long time. But one of the things that I do just love to ask people in business, because, it is a bit of a common thing that people sometimes, when they become business owners or entrepreneurs, that can become a hyper focus. So who is Steph outside of business? What do you do for fun?
Ooh, I am a bit of a social butterfly. I love going out. Um, Coffee dates with friends, beach walks. The beach is my happy place. So,
You live
um,
near the beach as well, I
I
think, don't you?
I
Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
do. I need the water for some reason. It's just my thing.
Are you a
Um,
water sign?
so no, I'm actually a fire sign.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
giving you a bit of
Yeah,
balancing
I
thing.
think so. But yeah, the water just always speaks to me. It's my happy place. So
Mm,
yeah, yeah. I love heading to the gym. Um,
yes.
the shops are always a bit of a calling for me.
Yes.
It's just inbuilt. Yeah. So
Yeah.
bit of
Oh,
window.
that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Stephanie Vaughan, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about your story, and really helping to, I hopefully open up, the opportunities for other women and in around personal style and just how important it is for our well-being and how we value ourselves and how we present and what an impact that can make. So yeah, hopefully that there's going to be some people that this is exactly what they needed to hear and it's going to make a real impact on their lives. So thank you.
Thank you. It's been really fun chatting with you.
Beautiful.